Zombie Grub, I need to take a moment and be totally unprofessional and talk about something not related to this. Although, let's be honest, that's Bay Straight TV for you. I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Axelab, who actually put a tweet out advertising our game fan thing that we recently got partnered with. That is pretty cool of him. Not a lot of people go out of their way to help others. So thank you. If Axelab ever listens to this, or if he's here live or whatever, thank you, Axelab. You are a fine gentleman. But that aside, round 3 continues. This is, of course, the Kaspersky King of the Hill Arena. This round in particular, this one best of 5 is worth €300. It's a lot of money for a best of 5. But more importantly than that, MaNa leads the series 2-1 over ForGG. I know when we started the series, there's a lot of people who voted this very heavily in the favor of ForGG. I mean, he's had a lot of 2-0s and 2-0s, or sorry, 3-0s and 3-0s back to back, but has he met his match? We'll have to see, because he spawns in the lower left corner as our red Terran player. Terrible introduction, I'm sorry.
In the upper right, as the blue Protoss, it is going to be Mao's MaNa.
Oh, I forgot to do Twitters again. Sorry, one sec. I just fallen apart here, guys. Here we go. Mao's MaNa on Twitter. Actually, 4GG has snaked that red from him. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I do find the Mouse Sports boys do play with red whenever possible, as it is their team color. But there are both of these players' Twitters, and I don't know, Zombie Grub. I don't even know what to say for this game. MaNa's been playing. What's weird to consider is every time he's won, it feels like he's been like scraping to win, you know, like just clawing to victory barely. It's not been any overwhelming sort of stuff so far.
I definitely agree. It's been very, very close. I mean, honestly, the last game, I feel like he would have won easy peasy, but it was just like surprising what ForGG brought out with that tank marine banshee. Like 2 base, like all in, I guess.
That was such an impressive counterattack, by the way. Just like
it was
anything, like it worked out so fantastic for him. But you know, this is actually, it's weird to consider, but this is ForGG's last life. Like if he loses this game, then he's gone, and MaNa goes on to fight TLO in the finals. Well, I say the finals, but really it's just another round with a lot of money attached to it. This early Zealot from MaNa 2 is going to be a bit of a pain. I love when watching Protoss players do this. I hate dealing with this when that Zealot comes across the map so early.
It does really suck. Of course, he's going to have 2 Marines, which, you know, if he waits for the 3rd one, he will be able to out-micro it if any of you play the micro challenge or whatever,
Starcraft
I guess.
Master or whatever it's called.
Yeah, whatever it is. Anyways, that's actually like one of them. Yeah, it's 3 Marines versus a Zealot, I believe. So, and he will. The Zealot actually pauses for just a second. I don't know what's up with that, but if ForGG's paying attention to his Marines, he should be able to effectively deal with it. Oh no!
Cancel. Has this been every game, by the way, where he's at some point delayed a command center even slightly?
Ooh, like, CB? Yeah, I think so.
MaNa is like the boss when it comes to like shutting down the expansion from going up as smoothly as 4GG would like. But seeing the amount of Marines, he is a little hesitant to engage. Of course, you don't want to throw the Zealot away for this, but oh, can he get that hit? Can he get that hit? He's ready for his life.
Great.
Gets a couple swipes in while he can for free. Stalker. Well, here's the thing, though, right? The Stalker and the Mothership Core coming out, too. So this suddenly goes from being a little bit of an annoyance to a quite dangerous poke.
And he knows it, too. He knows that this is coming, so he already pulls the SCVs. The Zealot hasn't taken as much damage as, like, maybe normal, so it is going to take a lot more time to deal with this push. But really, if he can just get the command center done, he can lift and go up in the ramp.
The thing about the Marines, too, is he only needs to get them down to... well, okay, never mind. I was going to say, well, the Zealot was alive. If he could have got this down to a low enough count, the Mothership Core could have cleaned up and actually finished this off. But still, the Command Center, not done yet. Now finally finishes up. And MaNa, it's not like he invested a lot into this. I mean, it was one Zealot that's died so far. These Stalkers will continue to trade with the Marines. Mothership Core is the only thing that's really in peril because it's the one that doesn't micro the most out of this.
Yeah, he's doing a really great job. He's going to have to pull the Marines back, actually. Be really, really careful. I mean, he has 3 production up, so now he is, of course, going to overwhelm MaNa eventually, but MaNa's getting a lot of good usage out of the Stalkers. He did sacrifice, you know, one thing, which was, like, additional gas, so his tech's going to be a little later, and that's why we see him throw down 2 gateways as opposed to, like, a robo or something.
Wow, the Mothership Core!
And that was a 1 Stalker, 2 Stalker... Gets another Stalker with that as well. So that was pretty good. MaNa was still being ballsy.
MaNa was seriously like, I think it was like 8 energy. I just barely clicked at the end, I'm not sure, but it was like 8 energy shy of putting down a time warp too. So really unfortunate, but still going to continue picking off Marines here. It's weird to see just how good the control of both of these players is. Because usually it's
Oh.
one person's amazing at stutter stepping, or the other is amazing at cutting with stalkers, but they're matching each other quite nicely here. But ooh,
Oops.
going up the ramp was a mistake.
Okay, so Rifkin, what's going to happen here is I believe that Mana's going to go for a 3-gate attack. So if that's a probe coming out, then that's definitely true. Yeah, it's a probe coming out.
Yeah.
So a 3-gate attack against ForGG, who historically has not gotten a bunker, is good. He's getting a bunker now because he knows that a Marine count's low and he's just kind of scared in general. But against a 3-gate pressure, you usually want either a SCV's already there or a second bunker. And if he does it, he could do a lot of damage, but maybe not as he throws in a robo.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say there's no force fields out just yet either, so it's not like you can really focus fire that down. You really do, of course, need those 2 or 3 force fields to keep the SCVs off that bunker repairing. But this push out of ForGG looks determined to do some damage. It's at the very least force out an overcharge. But if MaNa gets,
Okay.
yeah, well, he's rebuilt it, but of course it doesn't have the energy for the overcharge yet. Is the problem? So he's not gonna force one out the way he wants it to.
Well, if you don't force the cannon out, then you just deal damage. Like it's not really a force, like it's a trick. It's you literally need it, or you get damage on you. Trying to save the sentries whatever he can.
Yeah. Stalker should get out of this alive. Yeah, the focus fire split a little bit there. A little bit on the mothership core, a little bit on the stalkers. Loses 1 sentry for it, but gets like 9 marines. Still, the resources lost somewhat balanced, 900 to 950. Not the biggest, craziest thing, because there's not really been any economic damage dealt so far. Now, there are Widow Mines out, actually, which will make a push quite difficult, but MaNa's saying, forget a push, forget 3 gates. I'm going for that Robo real quick, and Colossus will be out in due time. Does scan this, which is huge, actually.
Yeah. I mean, he had to delay the gas to do what he did, so that's why like the Robo is later, and he had those gateways. So, oh wow, he cancels and goes for a Twilight Cancel instead. Huh. I mean, I know it was scanned, so obviously 4G is going to have knowledge, but it doesn't mean that it's bad. It doesn't get off on being surprising. It's just, a good Colossus.
Yeah, well, changing it up's not a terrible idea either. It's not like this is like, oh my god, he's going to lose the game because he canceled, but I would have liked to have seen the continued Colossus, to be honest. Now, we do have a pylon coming down here. Do you think he'll go for a blink? There's no way he goes for a blink this late, do you think?
No, I think he's going to go up the High Templar. The Proxy Pylon's probably just for later use, just like on Frost, I'd assume.
Well, I was just curious because of course, in canceling it, did decide to instead invest into that Twilight Council. But man, these Widow Mines have been a real pain for MaNa to deal with. Losing 6 workers now, not the end of the world, but doesn't have an immediate solution to clean it up. Does need to get that observer out. Where is that? He's not building it yet. Oh no.
He'd already got it. He has it.
Where is
he has
it?
2 observers already out.
Oh.
He's always gotten 2 observers.
Oh, he's pulling them back. That's why.
Mindful.
I was wondering why, because these Widow Mines have reloaded 3 times now at this point. That's why I was curious, like where the observers were at. I didn't realize they were delayed so far across the map. But all right, cleans this up. A little bit of a noise to his economy, but a big drop coming towards the main. No mothership core, no overcharge in range of the main, but does push it off at the natural. Doesn't reach anything, however.
The Zealots are getting chewed up by this army, and the Stalkers aren't targeting the medevac. They're trying to deal with the actual ground force, but that's not going to work. Finally targeting down the medevac so they can't escape, plus there's no healing. Oh, barely doesn't get that one. He needs a few more warp-ins, but I don't know, he's on cooldown, I guess? Oh.
Mothership 4, of course, burning this so early, won't have the energy for another one. Ready. This is actually looking pretty desperate here for MaNa. This actually really doesn't look good. Lifts up to goes to the main once again. If he puts an overcharge in the main, MaNa's just going to push, or sorry, 4GG's just going to push into MaNa's natural instead. Yeah, there we go. Because the natural one just ran out.
If he had continued with the Colossus, I feel like he would have had one right now, and that would have been so helpful. But, whatever.
He's going to lose the natural. Good game. He knows he can't keep up the drops. And this will take us to game number 5, Zombie Grub.
Yeah. Who's going to be correct? You said 3-2 MaNa, and I said 3-2 4GG.
Oh, whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, yeah, sure. Sorry, my sister knocked over my heater and it started making this buzzing sound. I don't know if you could hear that or not.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that was weird.
Yeah, WTF is having. Yeah, I know it sounded like a taser going in the background. It's a stupid heater. Like, listen, if you tilt it even slightly.
A taser, and you're like yelling at her, what are you doing? Stop tasing me.
Hey, is that answer right or wrong? Yeah, it's a really crappy heater.